In the insurance industry, a lot of people will tell you that they have 100,000 agents, but what they really have is 100,000 agents since the company started that got licensed but actually left or are dormant, don't write business, et cetera, et cetera.
We're here on Mentors Collective Podcast with my friend Eric Bosworth of Elevated Insurance. We're going to dive into some fun topics today, and we're rocking in the new studio. So Eric here just picked up a new Lambo. We'll be diving into some topics of entrepreneurship. Eric came from a place that not a lot of us start. So we're going to be diving into how to come out of that place and what that's like, what that feels like. And then scaling an insurance company to the size that you have has been really impressive. So I'm looking forward to gaining some knowledge and insights from you today. So Eric, welcome, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you guys having me, especially being one of the first ones to utilize this new podcast room that looks absolutely incredible.
Right, breaking in the studio. If you're listening to this on audio only, go check out our YouTube. It's a lot of fun. So starting with something fun, I always feel, because I run an organization, we've got over 50 employees. It's a service-based business. And I feel like, so the CEO of Goldman Sachs, he's facing a lot of backlash because he made like $50-something million in salary last year, whereas a lot of his employees aren't making nearly as much. So he's under fire. For him, buying a fancy jet or something was looked at as a bad thing. But for you, and for a lot of industries, that's not the case. And you just purchased a recent Lamborghini. You said it's a recruiting tool. I'd love to hear more about that. Why is the purchase of a fancy car like a Lamborghini a positive thing for your business and for your industry?
Well, I mean, when you're in business, first of all, it's a tax write-off. That Lamborghini gross weight is over 6,000 pounds. I just made a video about it. Right now, this year, you can write 80% of it off. So that's first and foremost. Second, it's because it just looks good. People love things and people that look good. I mean, let's just call it what it is, the elephant in the room. Like, people like nice shit. Okay, whether you like it or not, that's the world that we live in. I mean, you're either going to utilize it to your benefit or you're going to talk shit about it, right? And you're either or. And me, I wanted to utilize something like that in order to show people exactly what this industry can do in such a short amount of time, right? So I started my business last year with 4 agents. We now have over 300. And I figured, okay, well, we built the foundation. We have everything in place. We have the numbers. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. I'm from the show me state. Well, the show me state's Missouri. I'm from Florida. But what I mean by is you got to show me. And the way you show people now, unfortunately, is through materialistic shit. You scroll on social media sometimes and you hear those people talking that tries like, oh, I've met a few millionaires in my day and, they don't wear fancy jewelry and fancy cars. And like, dude, shut up. I've met people worth $100 million that love nice shit. I've met people worth $100 million that talk shit about the people that love nice stuff. So it's really just what you like, and it's your world, and everybody else is just living in it. So live it the way you want to.
I'm with you, brother. And I can see it being a real benefit in your industry because you're trying to attract people, insurance agents that want to hustle, that want to make the money. And you're showing them this is possible. This is what is available to you at the end of the road. It's a quick story and how that reflects kind of in my business. Must have been a year ago, and me and my business partner got jet skis. We do wins and losses on every Monday meeting for our company. And Scott, for one of his wins, said, I just bought a jet ski. Within an hour, he got called into our HR director's office and said, I've had a lot of complaints, people saying that it's inappropriate, that you were bragging about buying a jet ski during that meeting. You guys shouldn't be doing that. And I feel like it doesn't really work like that in the insurance business and with your employees. Do you feel any of that?
Well, you guys are in a service-based business, but you're in sales, right? Like I'm in sales. And I feel like in sales, the word why is too negative. It's why did you buy that jet ski instead of how can you teach me how to do exactly what you did?
Right. Mindset,
right? And I think that if we continue to go down that road of making somebody's, whether it's a purchase accomplishment or mental accomplishment or whatever the case may be, a negative thing, then we're the problem, right? So I would say tackle it head on. Your industry is a little bit different, Jay. Right? You have employees.
Yeah, and a lot of people's industries are going to be different in this way.
Exactly,
so it's a good conversation.
But I think ultimately, when you're in sales, people now, of course, there's a responsible way to talk. Like if you just bought a jet ski and you're $50,000 in debt and your whole life is in shambles, then don't buy a jet ski. But if you bought a jet ski because it's something you genuinely like to do, then I would say you switch people's mindset and teach them. I mean, mindset training is a real thing. I think that should be a weekly thing. I love what you just said on Mondays, wins and losses. I might take that, take it back to my business, my industry.
It's good, especially for a sales team. When the sales team hears the wins of the service that you're selling, they're a lot more encouraged to sell more. It builds their confidence in the product. So if you run an insurance company, is there an example of a insurance product that you sold where the client really loved the product and had an awesome experience? What does that look like for the insurance space?
So, just a more specific example, we specialize in index universal life insurance policies that build cash value for the rest of oneself's life. It's hot right now. It's a safe cash value vehicle in the crazy world that we live in, with the dollar going crazy and banks failing and recession on the horizon and everything of that nature. That's why we tackled index universal life insurance policies, because we started doing a lot of research. And what we do is we'll specifically sit a client down and show the client a max funded index universal life insurance policy and a poorly funded index universal life insurance policy. So it actually gives a win to the client, knowing they're doing business with an agent that cares more about the cash value that they're about to build in that policy than the agent does the commission that they're about to make. You see what I'm saying? Because the more cash value for the client, the less commission the agent makes.
Right. Such an interesting business model.
It is an interesting business model. It's a transparent business model, but it's going against the grain. And what that does is it makes the client feel okay. And that's the reason why we do PR, like what you do. That's the reason why we try to be as credible as possible with Google reviews, Facebook reviews, so the client can get on the phone with us and the agent and the client now have more of a conversational based sale rather than a transactional based sale. So when the agents do, close one of these massive deals, you'll see where the annual premium on a policy is $50,000, but what the agent gets paid on is what we call the target premium, might be $10,000, because they made the cash value so much higher and the fees so much less. In order for the client to win a lot faster within that policy than most agents and agencies do. So we always show that. Every Friday is when we do it. We show the top 10 agents, their largest policies, what the target premium was, what the actual annual premium was, because we actually pay out more bonuses on the agent doing right by the client. That's how we're doing it differently.
Very cool.
Is we're showing those wins, but it's actually a win for the client, less of a win for the agent, but a mindset win, knowing they're doing right. And what happens is we start getting more referrals because the clients see that we did right by them. Another agent can't come in and undercut our agents because we did what's right in the first place.
Love that.
So now we start to get more referrals, and that's where we get our wins. So our wins are delayed. It's delayed gratification. But what are we doing now? We're teaching our agents delayed gratification. Right now, we live in a world where instant gratification is a necessity for everybody. So we're going against the grain with that.
Let's talk a little bit about the insurance industry, because I don't really understand it. I hear Patrick Bet-David talking about his sale of his insurance company, where he has over 100,000 agents working for his company. And if that were any other industry, I'd be like, that is a freaking massive organization.
Yeah, that's not true.
100,000 people.
That's
right.
not true.
And I kind of realized that with doing a little bit of digging. Why is it not true? How does the insurance industry and insurance company operate? What is the business model?
You want me to give you the short version or the long version? No, let me tell you like this, man. Right now, my brand, our brand Insurance Elevated, my name is being thrown around a lot because I'm the new guy. We're the new company coming in and making noise and doing everything better than it's been done previously. And you bring up Patrick Bet-David, great guy. I follow him. I watch Valuetainment. However, there are a lot of fluff. And what I mean by that is, in the insurance industry, a lot of people will tell you that they have 100,000 agents, but what they really have is 100,000 agents since the company started that got licensed but actually left or are dormant, don't write business, et cetera, et cetera. Now, he sold this company to a private equity firm named Integrity, which a lot of my contracts are direct to Integrity. So maybe I need to watch what I say here. But what I'm trying to get at is there in general, there's a lot of fluff in the insurance industry. I'm trying to get away from that. I'm trying to be real with people. When we do interviews, I even put agents that want to get licensed, that aren't licensed yet. that want to learn about our business or really want to see what the agents are actually making that are with us, I show them their commission statements. I show them how many agents we have actually licensed that are active, that are writing business monthly,
Right.
which is what's more important.
Showing
So
the
you can
numbers.
say the 100,000 agents, you can say you sold for a 9-figure deal, you can do all of that, but it's really, what does your back end look like? What are your systems, your processes, the average agent compensation look like? That's what's important.
Right. I almost think a little bit, it's kind of like selling people into a pyramid scheme. Like you're finding entrepreneurs, not that insurance is a pyramid scheme because it's not, but you're finding entrepreneurs who want to come in and build their book, come in and self-motivate, come in and sell without being given all the leads that they want, it takes a lot of self-motivation mindset to be successful in an industry like that. And I think that's why a lot of MLMs have people driving around in the Escalades to show this is what successful agents can do. Yeah. This is what you can do. And it's true if you come with the right mindset. But I guess not everybody's successful. That's why you can have 100,000 insurance agents, but not all of them are active.
So I'll tell you like this. Insurance, if you want to look at any company, is MLM, right? You have an owner, you have directors, you have managers, you have employees. People who spend that are people that just don't understand, or they're not in sales, or they had a really bad experience at a specific agency.
Right.
That's where that comes from. It's just like when people say that life insurance is a scam because one person had a bad experience because their dad got a policy and he stopped paying on it. Then he died. And now the family doesn't get paid out because he was 30 days late on his payment, but they're blaming the insurance company and they're upset. Then you get bad reviews, right?
Right.
So with insurance, yes, there is me. I'm at the top right here. I have a contract at whatever percentage. I'm bringing on other agents at this percentage. I make this much. Now, the difference between me and a lot of other agencies is I will actually reinvest some of that profit back into the agents, back into discounted leads, paying for their licensing, paying for their course, maybe paying for their rent for a few months if they can't pay their rent because they're starting up their business and they're reinvesting. So it all depends on first of all, the person coming on board, whether they have a massive amount of work ethic and talent, and It depends on the agency. If the agency really did provide systems, processes, a CRM, good leads, good training, a good onboarding experience, good first impression, the reason why insurance is getting a bad rap right now and being compared to MLM is because yes, there are a lot of uplines that don't know anything about being a business owner or an entrepreneur.
Yep.
They just know how to recruit a bunch of people because they have a massive network, but they did not build a foundational business first like we did at Insurance Elevated.
Right.
We built the foundation before we went crazy recruiting. That's why everybody's making money now, because we did that first. Other guys will recruit a bunch of people and we'll tell them, go buy from this lead company, go buy from this lead company. Go figure it out on your own, while they make this massive override and it takes this person 2-3 years to catch up to this person because they didn't provide any foundational systems and processes or leads or show them exactly how they became successful.
Right. You need to set them up for success.
Exactly. So what happens is there's a 90% average turnover rate in the insurance industry.
Wow.
Because there's not enough systems and processes provided. There's not enough training. There's not enough good leads out there, good credible lead sources. And there's not enough secrets being given right here to get this person here because this person wants to keep making this much money off of this person. So it's actually in a lot of upline's best interest for people to come in, work for 3 or 4 months, sell their friends and family.
Yep.
Okay. Then die out, bring more people in. So they always keep people at this lower compensation while they're way up here.
Wow. Interesting.
Okay. I did it backwards. I gave my agents very high compensation, taught them exactly what I know, helping them build their brands. I'm doing it the 2023 way, the 2022 way, bringing on artificial intelligence, teaching agents how to run this business seamlessly with simplicity. So I'm not saying anybody else is horrible, right? Other agencies, I don't need to bash any other agencies. I'm just saying we're doing it better.
Yeah.
And we can prove it because when you come in, you see our average agent commission. See, that's what you really need to ask when you're in an interview.
Show me the numbers. What is your average guy doing?
What's the average agent making?
Yes.
What's the average conversion rate on your leads that you're providing to these agents that these agents are purchasing? I'm willing to pull up my bank account and show agents because, and I remember some of my mentors when I first got in there, like, why are you telling people what you make? Why are you telling people how much you're investing? I said, why the fuck would I not show people that want to do exactly what I'm doing, exactly what I'm doing?
Yeah, I totally agree.
I don't understand that.
And I don't care what the top guy's doing. Obviously, the top guy's going to be an outperformer. It's probably not what I'm going to come in and be able to do, especially not right away. So what is your average guy doing? That's such a good insight.
Right now, our average agent as of last month is making $12,223 a month, our average writing agent, just on the life insurance side.
Right.
Now, any agent that we have hybrid, which is about 45 out of our 300 agents are hybrid agents, are averaging another $3,500 a month just in health insurance commissions. So our average agent is making over $15,000 a month. That's a hybrid. Our average life insurance agent is making $12,223 a month. We just hit $2 million last month for the first time.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
For the first time since our company has since our company was founded by myself and a couple other guys. I do have another part owner, Ian Brook. He was my right-hand man. I gave him part ownership in the company because of his loyalty and, everything that he's done. And, he's on pace this year. He's not your average agent. He has his own agency now under my umbrella. Gave him equity. I mean, he'll probably make $1.52 million this year himself.
That's amazing.
So a lot of exciting things happening. I'm glad you asked that question. I'm glad I got to tackle the pros and cons of the insurance industry.
The hard questions.
Because there are cons. There are cons in any business.
There's cons to everything that we're doing, and those were the ones people need to address. I think more than they do. Everyone likes to focus on the fluff, the happy, the positive.
Yeah,
but that's not what changes people's minds. So let me ask you: in the insurance business, and this is kind of my interpretation because I went to the event, I saw all the different salespeople, beautiful women, people who are out there talking, networking. Oh, what do you do? I do insurance sales for X, Y, and Z. They're not building their own business. They're not marketers. They really don't have anything to do there. But I realized, they were building their personal brands, because what separates one insurance salesman from another? They're both probably selling similar products, but I'm probably going to do business with the one that I like, the one that has a strong personal brand, because I trust
the one that you know more about.
The one that I know more about.
The one that posted what they ate on Saturday and told them what they like about the food, or the one that told them that they wear this type of brand on their shirt because they gave them something of value. Like, hey, this shirt's nice because, I know that sounds crazy, but that's what people want. The more people feel like, have you ever watched a show before on Netflix and you binge watched it and at the end you felt like you knew the actors or the actresses?
Yeah, great shows build good characters.
You'd rather do business with the actors and the actresses that you know now because you watch that show, because you're bought in now. You've watched enough of their content, whether it was fake or not, you've watched it. There's a lot of fake people on Instagram, but you don't know that because you're not right beside them. But we live in this fairy tale of a world. So the better you can get at showing your genuine personality on social media and just being raw and real, whether people fucking like it or not, because I'm 50-50. People either love me or hate me. There's no like with me. There's love or hate.
Yep.
But I'm okay with that.
Because you attract the people
as long as I attract enough of the people that like and understand who I am as a man and as a leader and as a CEO and as a friend, that's all I care about.
Right.
I'll take the no's to get the yeses.
It's funny. Every insurance product that I've ever bought personally or for our company has been purchased through a friend. And everybody's got a friend who sells insurance. And people are most likely to buy the insurance products from people that they know, as you were saying. So bringing people on with good networks and good personal brands, good trustworthy personal brands, is probably the best way to sell insurance. And correct me if I'm wrong. And for people that don't have a friend that sells insurance, it's the influential people in the community that are going to be successful, because those influential people are always building relationships and they're getting followed because they're sharing what they eat. They share their day to day. What builds a good insurance salesman in your book, in your experience?
What you just said.
Yeah.
What builds a good insurance salesman is a good personal brand.
Yeah.
But also a good salesperson that understands how to be conversational over transactional. You have to genuinely care what you're doing when you're on the phone with people. I sell life insurance because I started out in the health insurance industry.
Yeah.
Okay. In 2021, my best friend that got me into the insurance industry died of lung complications. The day I was laying him to rest, my sister calls me and tells me my dad just suffered a stroke. He's paralyzed from the left-hand side. Okay. My dad still is living right now, but he's on his last days. Now, if he would have had a life insurance policy in place, I would not be having to flip the bill for his facility that he's in right now to give him the best of his last days.
Right.
It would be taken care of because in life insurance, it now has what we call living benefits. So they accelerate your death benefit to the family to help ease that person's life. But my best friend that we were laying to rest died at 34 years old, 33 or 34 years old. He had $1 million policy. His kids and his wife got to continue their same lifestyle. House got paid off. They only had to mourn the loss of their dad or of her husband instead of financially mourning as well. That clicked in my mind. That made me a better salesperson or a person for the job, I'd like to call it. Because when I'm on the phone with people, I'm genuinely not selling them. I'm showing them how valuable this is. And if they don't see the value because they can't tangibly touch it, like insurance on a phone, you can tangibly touch a phone.
Right.
So I'm showing them how they can utilize it while they live and borrow against life insurance policies to fund investments or other things, So I got creative with it. If they couldn't see the value of just it being life insurance itself, I said, okay, let me learn about the life insurance products that you can utilize while you're living. So that's kind of why I got into just the life insurance industry as well, rather than just health insurance.
Right.
So I think that's what makes a good insurance salesperson, is understanding that insurance is not for the expected, it's for the unexpected. And they understand the value of it because they have a story that they can tell others. And also a personal brand to give people as much free value as possible. That's what separated me from everybody else. I just started putting out content about how health insurance works, how life insurance works, what you should do in these situations, gave them stories. And then I started taking those same videos and just running them as ads. So now I haunt people. As soon as you say life insurance into your phone, you're seeing me at some point in Facebook. And that's it through all 50 states. I was in Poppy State 2 weeks ago. And the valet guys in Miami were like, hey, man, you're the insurance guy on social media, right? I'm like, yeah, bro. I'm like, he's like, is that really what you do for a living to do all? I said, absolutely. I'm like, come by the office because we just opened up a new office in Miami. They came by. They're both hired. Now they're both agents with us.
Oh, man.
Because of the fact that I gave out that much free value. So now we're not only getting clients who want to buy life and health insurance, we're not even running recruiting ads. Our ads alone that are getting clients are bringing in now people that just want to work with us.
Every owner should be doing content because you're an expert and you're the lightning rod to the company.
Exactly.
How long have you been putting out content? What's your timeline for success in content been like?
April of last year.
Okay, pretty recently.
And I've been filming one day a month since April of last year. So I've filmed 16 times.
That's amazing. What does that day look like?
That day looks like 7 to 8 different outfits. Me jumping in and out of clothes. When I first started, I was okay on camera and I knew I had something, and other people seen that I had something, but I still sucked. Everybody sucks until they don't.
Everybody sucks for the first.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you're you're competent now after.
Yeah, man. I because I prided myself on becoming better at my vocabulary, the way I present myself, my tonality. Tonality is everything. I teach tonality. We have this thing at our offices, and that I actually train on is Tonality Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, at 3 p.m., we get everybody on and I call out on people and we go through the script. We go through a conversational based sell, and we talk about different tones, when to be a reasonable man, or when to ask a question. Like, would you be opposed to that? See, I want to know. I'm like Jeremy Lee Minor. I want you to tell me no. Would you be opposed to that? No, I wouldn't be opposed to that. So now I'm buying you in on a no rather than a yes. Everybody always says get the yeses. I want the no's.
Interesting.
So I'll be enthusiastic at times. Or when I first get on the phone with somebody, I won't even say hey. Like, hey's for fucking whores. Nobody gives a shit about hey, how are you?
How do you open the call?
I'm saying, Jay, it's Eric from Insurance Elevated. I just had time to reach out to you. I see you submitted some information on our social media. What video did you see? Did you see the bald-headed guy with the tattooed hairline? Like, if it's one of my agents, I make them say that to separate me from everybody else.
I love that.
To get them to click like, oh, I do remember that tattooed hairline, bald-headed guy with the tattoos. That's what makes me different. And I'm on camera with jewelry talking about life insurance and health insurance. All these other guys have 7-piece suits on saying, hey, man, would you like to contact us today on life? I don't do that shit.
No, you don't resonate with people who are consuming that too.
Exactly. So I went after a different crowd. I decided to do things differently, and it's worked out. And people who are watching this are going to copy me just like 100 other people have over the last 6 months. But by the time they copy me, I'm already doing 2 or 3 different things. I got 50, 60 videos I haven't even put out yet.
Are you scripting all the videos yourself?
None. I don't script. I do everything off the dome.
You sit there all day in 7 different outfits and rail out different content topics
all
off
day.
the top of your head.
All day. My content guys even got one of those like readers where you can watch it. And I don't use that shit. No, get that shit out of here. Because then my personality doesn't come out.
Yeah.
Right? And yeah, sometimes I say wild shit and he has to cut it out or do whatever, but that's fine. Cut it and let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
Just like
teleprompters suck all the life out of your content.
Yeah, and I don't even know what it's called. See, teleprompter. There you go. See, The thing is, I'm just going to do me and I'm going to be me. And the people that are going to resonate with it, they're going to buy in at such a high level that in the insurance industry, you get what we call chargebacks. Client doesn't pay their bill. Your commission gets negative balance within that insurance carrier. So then you got to make another sale to outrun that chargeback. If you're a bad salesperson and you don't see the value in it, you don't know how to tell a story and connect with the client, you're going to get a lot of chargebacks. So if the average, salesperson in insurance makes $100,000 a year, they're really only making $70,000 because the average chargeback percentage is 30%.
Interesting. Wow.
So that's why you get a 90% turnover rate, because people will make a shit ton of money their first couple months,
spend all,
then go on vacation, then go on vacation and spend it all because they think they're a big dog now, and I'm the bad guy. And a lot of people I rub the wrong way because I'm like, why the fuck are you going on vacation your first 9 months in this business? You are literally living on loaned money. The insurance company is loaning you money.
Yep.
So then I'll spot check them. Hey, did you send the disposition text? Did you 10-day follow up with the client? They're like, oh, I'm a business owner. Why are you like breathing down my neck? I'm like, I'm not. I'm trying to save you from being drowned by chargebacks. That's going to vector you eventually onto your credit and drag you out of this business, the one opportunity you have. So don't look at me as micromanaging you or I'm being mean to you. Look at me as trying to check you as my business partner because you're a self-employed 1099 a business partner of mine that has the same opportunity I did. Why would I not make sure I keep you in check to get you to where I'm at as soon as possible?
Those people probably aren't going to last anyway.
Exactly.
You're trying to give them the tools. You're trying to protect them.
Yep.
If people don't want to learn the lessons of those that have come before them, because if people have done that, they've made a ton of money, went on vacation, spent it all, got 30% chargebacks, and now you got to pay the company back.
Exactly.
I'm sure it happens every day.
It
and
does.
if you're not willing to learn the lessons of those that come before you, you probably deserve what's coming next.
They learn everything, but they don't utilize the tools and resources that we put in place to mitigate those chargebacks.
Right.
Like we put a full CRM in place, and you know all about CRMs, where it has the drip text, the drip emails for you. It communicates with the client all year long as you set everything up in the beginning. But they're lazy. They make the sale. They get on with it. They want to get on the phone with another client. They got commission breath. Now they're getting chargebacks. They're not solidifying each deal. Oh, and then it's a roll up. And that's the select few.
Right.
The cool part is though, average 90% turnover rate in the insurance industry, we have 27%.
That's
so
a crazy
obviously
difference.
We have something in place to make sure that we keep these clients on the books. We're cultivating these relationships ongoing. We're doing policy reviews. We're getting more referrals. We're getting more everything.
I bet a lot of that has to do with the clients coming in because they found you and connected with you and felt like they liked you on social media. I think that goes a long way for building rapport with your clients. If you didn't know who that client was and you cold emailed them and you sold them an insurance policy, you automatically owe them something. You have something to prove to them. You need that social proof. If they're coming in and they don't want to do wrong by you because they like you, they feel connected to your company, you're going to have a lot better results with your employees because same thing.
Exactly.
They're finding you and connecting with you on social.
And Jay, I'm not the only one on these ads. I bring in my other agents to breed familiarity. So after these clients are already sold, I'm purposely still haunting them on social media so they see us. So we're like a household name now. They see us like, oh, that's the guy I got my policy from.
Part of their life.
Referral. So I might not get another lead from that client because we already sold them, but because they see me so much, I'm already in the back of their head where if somebody says life or health insurance, they're like, oh, I got a guy.
Yep.
I got a guy. This guy was a guy that got me to fill out the lead, and this guy took care of me. I'm going to refer you. So it's an ongoing ecosystem that we've created, and we're trying to step on next right now to increase that visibility and that credibility even more so. And we were doing that through PR, getting featured on Forbes, Entrepreneur, Inc., Catalyst, so on and so forth. Now we have 200 reviews on Google, 200 reviews on Facebook, 400 combined videos between all of our platforms for people just to genuinely learn about us before they even get on the call.
I may use that as an ad for my PR agency. Why is PR impactful for your company?
Absolutely. I could help you with the ads. I love it, man. That's why, and truth be told, and this is the first time everybody's even hearing this, probably any of my agents, only a few of my agents know this, but I'm stepping down from CEO soon. I'm not a CEO. I'm not a CEO. I'm a founder and I'm a CMO. I want to focus on marketing. I want to focus on scalability. And scalability is solely reliant upon marketing, branding, and content.
100%. We're familiar a lot in that. I have my co-founder, Scott, and he loves dealing with people. He loves the legal stuff. He loves the numbers. I fucking hate all that stuff.
Hate that.
Me too.
I'm not good at it. I'm not the best leader because I'm the guy for instance, half of Michael Jordan's teammates didn't even like him because he didn't want to be around you unless you were absolutely great. Like you had to be another GOAT for him to even deal with you. You know, that's why he had Scottie Pippen and a couple other the greats that played with him, but he still would push them to be try to be like him, but not everybody's going to be like you. But sometimes it's just hard. It's like a alter ego that I'm fighting every day. Like I'm trying to get me out of you, and it's not going to happen. Then I got a couple other guys that are within my organization that are just so good with people. They're liked by everybody, and they're consistent. They're solid. You know exactly what you're getting out of them every day. Me, I'm a little bit of a wild card, So I think soon, it'd be best for me to find and put in place another CEO, another face of the company, and me focus on a massive amount of content, branding, marketing, and then get into consulting, where I'll start consulting my own agents to build their brands and their lead companies, and me just become more of an umbrella for everybody.
It's good to have that roadmap and to put that out there into the world like what you're doing right now. And I bet that right person's going to show their face and pop up unexpectedly.
Yeah, I hope so.
And it sounds like a good trajectory for where you're going, but I'd love to hear a little bit about where you started. It seemed like you, from our conversation before this, you weren't always driving around a Lambo Urus.
Yeah, man.
Tell me about that.
Where I started from, man, I'll tell you, I started it all started for me in high school. I was 12, 13 years old. Parents got divorced, went through fucked up childhood like everybody else. But mine was definitely a little unique. 12, 13, started cutting hair in my garage that the house that my grandmother was living in.
Wow.
Learned how to cut hair through my uncle's girlfriend's clippers that she would leave there because she owned a salon at the time.
12 years old.
12, 13 years old. Picked them. I was cutting people bad. And I don't mean cutting their hair like I was, making them bleed at first. Started doing the whole neighborhood, started getting good at it. Then I got good enough to charge for it. And then, things went south with my parents' divorce and, us being taken care of by then. Mom got into some crazy shit. Dad didn't want nothing to do with me. Found out my dad wasn't my real dad at almost 15 years old. Met my real dad once. Ironically, my real father owned a life insurance agency.
Interesting.
And he was a pro bodybuilder back in his younger days. I was a nationally qualified bodybuilder when I turned 22, 23, and now I own a life insurance agency.
So I'd love to spend a little bit of time on that, because you said two things you mentioned are really interesting. Mm-hmm. I talked to a lot of really successful entrepreneurs who were once high-level athletes. I don't know if you know this about me, was a professional beach volleyball player for the first part of my life. Played all collegiately, played for Team Florida, won a lot of major tournaments up to the time I was 18. And I think that has a lot to do with the discipline required to self-motivate, because you don't really have coaches leading the way. You got to train on off hours, go hard in the gym to be able to self-motivate to build a company. So I wonder, for you, do you think being a professional bodybuilder translated at all to your skills and your success as an entrepreneur?
I think what translated my skills and to success was before that. It was, first of all, being competitive in sports, growing up playing sports every single day, actually being outside and not drawn to a fucking iPad all day.
Yeah, thank God we were born.
Thank God, man. The 90s were amazing. Now, I think that helped. And then I think once the divorce happened with my parents, once I knew I had to fend for myself, and the cutting hair was like a blessing in disguise, because I started doing that before shit went real south. Then when mom went to jail, dad didn't have nothing to do with me, found out real dad, all this other stuff. I was in high school, and I actually used that sad story for like the cop that used to manage the school parking lot when we would get out of school, so I could sell bootleg Air Forces and like cut people's hair and everything. And like, hey man, and they knew like my story. Yeah. And I ended up moving in with a friend of mine that lived on the same street, who was already 18 years old, let me move in and kind of just pay $250 a month rent at 14, 15 years old. That taught me, first of all, survival skills. And, I had a billionaire tell me a while back, he was like, Eric, you know why you're so successful and you know why you don't take shit from anyone? Because you had to create your own rules at such a young age, and you had to just figure it out as you go. So you created your own beliefs, your own morals, your own principles, your own rules. Everything was created by you because you had nobody to truly rely on. So now that your rules and your principles and your morals, everything fucking worked and you're massively successful, it's hard to sway you in a different direction. Your gut intelligence is so strong because nobody's done what you've done or been through what you've been through, and you had to survive for so long, and you were so competitive. Now, honestly, I go after ex-athletes and ex-military.
Interesting.
That's what I go after. Those are the best agents that you can have, agents that want to win at all costs. And because a lot of people say, I remind them of somebody who used to be in the military or a coach.
Yeah,
it's like,
you do.
Like our number one agent in the country, Elijah Goins, who owns his own agency now under ours called Financially Fluent. Elijah used to play for Ohio State University. I forget what position. Let me not say what position, but he was massively successful. I mean, dude still looks incredible. Like you see his Instagram, good looking guy, built, still takes care of himself to this day, but he's crushing it with us. And he always asks, and I get feedback from my top guys, my executive team, like, guys, is there something I need to work on? Am I a little bit too hard on you here? What do we need to do to get better? He's like, dude, I love everything about like how you are. He's like, you're just like my coach back in Ohio State. He's like, you don't take no shit. You know what it takes to win.
When you work with athletes,
you're not going to deal with losers.
When you work with athletes, you know there's not going to be a discipline issue with that person.
Exactly.
There might be other issues, but it's not going to be because they can't self-motivate.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to apologize for who I am, and I know I can grow and get better, but I'm never going to change. I can grow and get better, keywords. I'm not going to change who I am. Anybody who's ever tried to change me or say you shouldn't be doing this, it's all I got told last year whenever myself and a few others started this was, oh, you should just do this. Why are you doing this? Why are you wasting money on this? Why are you going to pay that guy $20,000 to mentor you, to teach you this when you could just do this? I'm like, no. See, that's not, because my vision is just so much larger, and I want to put thousands of people on to win, not myself and a few other people.
Yeah, and don't listen to people who aren't doing as well as you. Ever.
Exactly. So that's just where we're at in that situation. But yes, ex-athletes, ex-military, people who have the competitive drive, people who've been through some shit, I like it. Yeah. I like it because I can resonate with those people, which a lot of us truly have, and we don't know how to really channel that. A lot of us will use that as an excuse to fail at life and blame everybody else and their mom as to why they're not successful.
Yeah.
Instead of looking in the mirror and being like, okay, like we got fucking YouTube. In 24 hours, we can pretty much be a pro at almost anything.
I have a medical degree. I knew nothing about marketing.
Yeah.
YouTube was like
that's all I did.
100% of my education. YouTube, and when I liked a creator, I bought their course, and I dove a little bit deeper into their course.
YouTube taught me almost everything that I knew. I looked at social media and I said, well, we got gurus in coaching, consulting, personal training, marketing. Every industry, you have these massive influencers with these massive brands, but nobody's doing this in insurance. Insurance is so old school. It's so slow.
Yep.
So many people at the top making all this money off the people at the bottom and not giving the people at the bottom a chance to get to the top as soon as possible. I said, what if I just give the world away my first year? I didn't make any money. I just started making money 5 months ago. And in 5 months, everybody sees the Lambo, the jewelry, the this, the that. It's like, yeah, I earned it. I drove around my ex-girlfriend's Honda fucking Civic for 11 months when I started this.
Right. Nobody's seen
that shit. She had a 4-cylinder in it.
And that's when you're not documenting
0 to
everything.
60 in 12 seconds. It was horrible. But I sacrificed to do that, to make sure that everybody else ate last year. Nobody sees that. Nobody sees that right now. People see, oh, well, Eric's just a fucking show off. Eric's this, Eric's that. There's 155 agents in my organization right now that will make more than $150,000 this year on average.
Yeah, all looking at you.
You tell me who else can fucking
example
say
for
that.
them. That's amazing.
There's 10 agents this year, agency owners, that will make over $1 million. What other business owner or selfish human being can you go up to and say, how many people have you made a millionaire? I can say 10 come January 2023 or 2024.
Amazing. Well, insurance is a cool industry. Now, there's a lot of people listening to this right now, junior entrepreneurs, people trying to figure out what to do, picking a business model, picking a vertical. And it's a hard thing because once you pick something and invest your time and money into it, switching becomes really difficult.
Oh, it becomes more difficult in the insurance industry because once you sign with an agency, they can hold you hostage for up to 6 months and ruin people. I've watched agencies ruin people's lives simply because they want to be assholes and not release somebody to another agency. I've seen it for myself.
I didn't know that
where they end up losing them all together and they got to go back and work at Chick-fil-A or McDonald's or in the kiosk in the mall or whatever because they simply would not get released and they didn't have the tools necessary that they could have been maybe decent to good agents if they had the right tools and resources. But because one agency is just so stuck in their ways and don't want to let somebody go, and they're just like, well, you just got to need to figure it out. You're not going to do well anywhere else. And they don't give them that opportunity. It baffles me, man.
Yeah.
I had 22 people leave my agency 2 months ago because they just didn't like me. I'm horrible. I'm such a bad guy. I released all of them right then and there. I didn't hold them. I could have held them hostage, but we lost those 22 and gained 84 in 30 days.
Right.
When we lost those 22 agents, we went from writing 1.3 million. We only wrote 1.1 million. Last month, because we gained all of those other agents, $2 million.
There's something to letting people go when they want to go and leaving on good terms. Hold somebody hostage. They can, especially when you're young, destroy your brand online, which is something I don't want to risk right now.
Man, you brought up, that's the kicker right there. It's like, we have a brand now. What if I did hold them hostage?
You have a brand.
They could go and defamate our character and drag us through the
Reddit
mud.
threads, 1-star reviews.
Do what they want to do. Right. Let them live their lives and be happy and do what's best for their family. Whether I was right or wrong in the situation, I still learned from it.
Yeah. And once you got 100,000 agents, 100,000 reviews, it's a different story.
It was a small bump in the road to what the bigger picture is for everybody.
Yeah.
And if anything, I felt it was cutting out something that wasn't supposed to be in the organization or in my life regardless.
Yeah.
And now it made room for other people to step up and prove their loyalty and prove their work ethic and their talents that now I can focus on and say, oh, I was supposed to be focused on you the whole time, not the 22 that left. So now my time, instead of being drawn out to people that were never for me in the first place, is given to the people that are for the organization and for the bigger picture.
100%. So a lot of people ask me as like an entrepreneurial mentor that want to start a company. They're trying to figure out which company to start. And my general advice to them is, was that company, that industry, was it a thing 10 years ago? And do you think it will be a thing 10 years from now? Do you think that that industry will survive? Because if not, I don't think it's worth investing your time and money into.
Insurance?
No, not insurance. They're trying to figure out what to do. They're saying, should I start a TikTok ads agency?
Yeah.
I'm like, do you think that's going to be a thing 10 years from now? My guess would be no.
Yeah, anything with a single app or anything like that.
Where you're reliant on someone else's company or something.
General. You want to know why I got into the insurance industry?
Well, it's just the oldest industry. Insurance isn't going anywhere. Insurance,
insurance is older than prostitution. Like
I don't know about that.
I don't know. But that's when I did my research.
That's a bold statement. Jacqueline, fact check that one.
So, I got into the insurance industry because I looked at how many ways you could get paid. I looked at how old the industry was. I looked at how old some of these companies were, what kind of ratings they had on the Better Business Bureau, what kind of cushion I could have and stability I could have when building my business, because I didn't want to just build a business selling. I wanted to build a business servicing. And I got both. I got the lead business where we can sell the leads, and we got the business where we could actually genuinely service and help people. So you get the best of both worlds. And then I get to recruit at a massive scale and help as many, not only clients as possible, but help agents as possible, and show them how to get paid a salary, a upfront commission, an as earned, residual. Like there's just so many different ways to get paid in the insurance industry. And it gets a bad rap because, again, people don't set up a foundation for everyone to make great money. They set up a foundation for only 10% of people to make money because they were going to make money anyways because they're just monsters.
Right.
I figured out a way for people, even if they're not a monster at sales, if they just follow the protocols that we put in place, they're going to make a good to great income.
Right. I think the perception of insurance is that there is a lot of money in it. And if you start an insurance company, maybe it's hard to get in, to get your foot in the door, but there's a lot of money to be made. People see all the success. Oh, yeah. Now, there's some crazy statistic, like 50% of businesses fail in the first year, 90% the first 10 years. Do you know what that statistic is for people starting insurance companies? I mean, what are the chances that somebody starting an insurance business, doing what you're doing, is going to be successful in that industry?
10%.
10%. Low. That's lower than restaurants.
Whether it's an agent or agency, the overall, because you have the option to do either or from day one.
Right.
But the average turnover rate is 90% in the first 13 months.
Why do you think that is?
Because of there's a lack of innovation in the industry. The industry's old.
Right.
Even the insurance company themselves, COVID was the reason why most of these insurance companies allowed agents to write policies over the phone. 3 or 4 years ago,
wow, I didn't know
75% of life insurance agents were still going to people's houses selling life insurance. Because of COVID, they created systems to do DocuSigns and right. Pipelines to be able to get online and walk a client through how to sign online and do everything over the phone. And it's still kind of new. People are still a little bit weirded out with giving their social and writing an account numbers. That's why, again, what's important? PR.
Right. Trust.
trust, credibility, reviews. You see, that's why, again, with the way the world is going with AI and everything being simplified and managed all online, how can we build the most amount of trust possible before one of our employees, our sales agents, or our agents get on the phone with these clients? We do it through being featured in these top publications. We do it through making sure in our CRM every 60 days we send out our Google review link for our clients to leave reviews. I'm giving you millions of dollars worth of game right now. We do it through every 60 days sending out our Google referral link where clients can send us referrals and get paid cash bonuses for the referrals. We do it through setting 6 and 12-month policy reviews to get back on the phone with these clients and ask them for 2 to 3 people that they can name right now that we can help and get their phone numbers. And we do it intentionally. That's how we build trust and build an ecosystem.
Right. And the way that you're able to compete with these Goliaths that have been doing insurance forever is the digital stuff is new. So that gives you the ability to adapt faster than they are. And you're creating content. They're not doing any of that.
Well, and now they're, the smart ones are wanting to collab like you, like other guys who are in the industry who are in maybe similar industries or industries that we could benefit each other from. And we're doing more collaborations instead of more hating on each other. Everybody just loves to just gossip and hate and try to destroy instead of partnering. And I noticed that all the people that hate and talk shit are the people that can't do anything for you anyways. Or all the people that are making 50 to 100 grand a year love to gossip. But the people that are making $1 million to 10 million a year are collaborating to make money off the people that are making $50 to $100,000 a year.
One of my favorite quotes is that hate never comes from below. Or never comes from above. Hate never comes from above. It only comes from below.
Yep.
People love to hate on people who are doing better than them.
And I just wish, and people love to see you do good, but never better than them.
Yes.
I hate that. I don't understand it. Like, to me, if I'm 40 years old, I'm 32 years old now. I want to retire at 37. 37 is my lucky number. It's my favorite number. I got 5 years. I'm retiring. I'm retiring at 37. I want to partner. I want a 9-figure deal, just like Patrick Bet David got with a private equity firm. I'm going after that too. I want 9 figures. I want 9 figures because with 9 figures, I can help thousands of people. And then with 9 figures, I can turn it into what? The B word, $1 billion company. My mentor a while back told me, Eric, you're thinking too small. Because I was thinking, 10 million, I'm out. I'm good. 10 million, what? Because
not anymore.
Like I said earlier, before we started this podcast, money's important when you don't have any. When you get some money, you start buying all this shit. You're like, this shit gets kind of boring after a while. Right. You asked me earlier, how you like driving the Lambo? I'm like, I'm already tired of it. The pipes kind of smell. It's super loud. I can't, when I roll the windows down, I get out. I don't even smell like cologne anymore. It's like a race car. It's cool, but I like driving my Mercedes more. It was quiet, suede steering wheel. When I turn the music down, you can hear yourself talk through the speakers. I'm like, I like cool shit like that, luxurious. But that's what you have to do. I think it's important that when you do get some money, you got to give it back because I think it teaches you what your purpose is after that. And everybody's purpose is the same. It's to help others.
Right. It's
genuinely to help other people. Like nobody has a different purpose. We were all put on earth to help thy neighbor. That's a true statement, right? So I think the sooner people realize that ultimately you're not going after the fame, the cars, you're going after getting that and utilizing it as a tool to help as many people as possible. Right. Like people always say, God did this for me. No, he didn't. He put the tools on earth for you to utilize and leverage them to help thy neighbor.
Hopefully.
And help yourself.
Money makes you more of whatever you already started as. I believe that fully too. So
I've heard that too.
I think if people are a dick and just a cruel person and you give that person $10 million, they're going to help people.
But Jay, I've watched the most loyal people get some money and switch up. So I used to say that. I used to see it, but man, it happened to me with my own eyes. I watched people betray me that were just the dopest people in the world, most loyal people in the world, greatest, kindest, best friends with people. Yep. And then as soon as you got them some money, they switch the fuck up just like that. So
people will do a lot of shitty things for money.
Or maybe that's really all that's the whole time who they were, but they never had no money before. So I don't know. I don't know. So maybe you're right. But at the end of the day, I think, again, everybody has the same purpose. I think that there's so much money to go around. People need to collaborate more. They need to understand how they can benefit and help each other in a like the power of reciprocity is important, right? I'm not going to be friends with somebody, and don't take this the wrong way, whoever's watching, but I'm not going to be friends with you if you can't benefit me in some type of way, whether that's financially, mentally, spiritually. Like, you have to benefit me in some type of way. If not, why the fuck are we hanging out?
I agree. I said the same thing on Vic Tipness's podcast and went viral. Got a lot of hate from that, but it's true. I mean, every relationship is transactional, whether you want to admit it or not.
Yeah. But it can be a purposeful transaction.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be influence. It can be lots of different things.
It's all perception. Again, going back to what we first said, mindset training. I think more and more people need training on their mindset.
And they need the mindset to want the training on their mindset first, which is the tricky part.
Yeah.
Last question, or maybe the last question. You said 37, you're going to retire. That's the goal. Mm-hmm. Do you have a dream board? What does retirement look like for you?
I don't have a dream board on paper. I have everything in my head. I'm crazy like that, man. Like, I've never been one of those guys to write out my goals or write out my to-do list the night before a big day or nothing. I've just always, and I hate to give this advice out, but I wing it. I wake up and I know what it takes to be successful. I am driven. Nobody motivates me. I don't watch bodybuilding videos to go to the gym and work out.
Right.
I know that I want to be healthy. I want to feel good. I don't want brain fog. I want my muscles to look decent. I want to be able to keep up with the younger generation. If I'm hanging out with nephews, nieces, my future kids, like, I don't want my body to go to shit, because your body's the only thing you truly ever own in life.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. I know you said you're not sure about giving the advice, but the advice is that you don't have to listen to every millionaire who has a morning routine. We're all different. Different things make us tick. I don't wake up and meditate for 20 minutes and take an ice bath. I wake up and I get right to work. I meditate before bed. That's against all recommendations.
If I can tell you, if I can give you any piece of advice on what a dream board should be, it should be to go as far as possible in life, because you only have one. So when my mentor told me you're thinking too small, it opened up my eyes, and I said, okay, what do you mean thinking too small? He's like, the B word. And I said, what do you mean, bitch? That's the first thing I said. Like, what? You called me a bitch? What? And then he's like, no, $1 billion fucking dollars. And when he told me that, it was weird. Like, I sat there and I'm like, where have I heard that from? The Social Experiment, the Facebook movie. What was that? Social Network. When they said that, and I'm like, am I really like in a position to do something? Like, I didn't even believe that I had the skill set or the talent to do that. And then he's like, yeah, that's your fucking problem, Eric. You don't believe. You don't believe. That's the number one thing that you need to go from here to way the fuck over here, is you need to believe that you can actually do it.
Mindset.
How do you get there? From small micro successes. When I first made my $2,000 week in insurance, I was like, oh, this is doable. I can do this.
Yeah.
Then I made my first $5,000. I was like, wait, whoa, I made $5,000 in a week. Then I made my first $20,000 week. Then I had my first $20,000 day. I just had my first $37,000 day 2 days ago.
Just got to keep moving the goalpost up.
Opened up my eyes. I was like, whoa, I just made $37,000 in one day. It's like, whoa.
There's levels to things. Some people look at that and say, oh, it's cute. 37,000. Exactly. I remember when I was doing 37,000.
I have a couple of those friends that tell me that's cute.
You'll be saying that a year from now, 2 years from now.
But there's two types of people in this world. There's the people that'll make $37,000 in a day and go on vacation for 3 weeks and go party and go live it up and slack off and lose that momentum. There's the people that trigger that belief system, like, oh shit, now I'm playing in a whole different pool. I'm in the deep end now. I'm in the deep end with the big boys. And that's where I'm trying to be, because what I've noticed is it's so much easier to get jobs done and make decisions and be more innovative around people that have that type of mentality, where money is cool, but how much can you do with it? Like, can you really go out and change 20, 30 people's lives in a year, 2 years, based off of one phone call, right? Well, hey, move this money here to do this and make that happen, and let's take care of these people over here.
Yeah, money and power are the power to do good if wielded correctly.
It's all about how you use it, man. I think, there's a good and there's a bad. I mean, you got to take that. That's what life is about, though. It's about choices. I'm making the choice to help people. I'm also making the choice to take care of myself, at times, because I am a little selfish, because if I don't take care of myself and make me the best possible me, and make sure that I do have a nest egg in my bank account and I do keep some profits for myself, what happens if my Facebook leads go down right now and half of my agents can't make money because one of my one piece of my foundation just fell out. Well, I need the money to try another piece to make sure my people eat.
100%.
Right? So you got to be a little selfish in places so you know that no matter what, you never lack, you just transition. And when I have 300 people that I need to make sure can transition at any given time if one of our pieces falls. So I need to make sure I take care of myself first so I can take care of others.
So you want to get to $1 billion.
$1 billion.
And you want to retire by 37.
37, $1 billion. I want to be a billionaire at 37.
It's coming up. Not super quick, but.
Well, in 16 months, I have 2 8-figure companies.
Hell yeah.
That we have declined an 8-figure deal. We declined it because we know we're going after something much larger.
So say you reach the $1 billion, you get the 9-figure exit from the company, you're 37. What are you going to spend your next 100 years doing? Because you're going to live to at least 150. I think we all are with the
new
modern advances.
Who says that? That Chris Cron, that Chris Cron guy, or what's his name?
There's a few different biohackers.
Yeah, biohackers that are talking about they're going to live until 150. I said, give me whatever y'all are on.
I'm on that train. We'll have a separate conversation.
So you're the professional in that. I'd love to hear about that. I was getting work done to my knee today because I heard it playing soccer. I feel like I'm 50 years old now.
Got to get you on the pulse electromagnetic frequency in the other room.
Yeah, you're talking a whole different language, man. But no, 37 years old. We definitely want I personally want to be a billionaire. Absolutely, because what you could do with that if you do it the right way.
I have no idea what to do with that.
I know exactly.
I don't need any.
Yeah, philanthropy is me. Like I would get into just giving. Of course, you would put a lot of that wealth into fixed indexed annuities, index universal life policy, safe investment vehicles that are going to give you that 5 to 7% return, so you can continue to give at that annual.
What about you? Things that you want, places you want to go, lifestyle you want to live.
Oh, man, I love Italy. I just got back from Italy. I fell in love. Like, I'm half Italian. My she lives in Sicily. I don't even know if she's dead or alive. Like I told you, I haven't really talked to my real father. But when I did speak to them, she lived in Sicily. She was an artist of some kind. I just got to visit there last week, and it blew my mind, man. It blew my mind. They say Rome wasn't built in a day. Well, now I fucking know why. I seen some of that architecture and what they were able to do. I don't even believe it. I believe aliens were here and did that shit. Like, you look at some of you, just like, there's no way. Yeah. There's no way they did this. But it was so beautiful. And, I just genuinely felt home there. It was weird. Like, I've been to I've been to Mexico plenty of times. I've been to all the Caribbean, like most of the Caribbean islands, And I've been to a few other different countries, and just nothing has hit me like Italy.
If you love that, go visit the Mediterranean countries, Croatia, Greece.
Yeah, so I'd love to go visit Greece, Croatia. I'd love to. I think next year we're going to do that.
Cool. So you got a house in Italy, in Sicily. It's beautiful. What else you want? What's on your list? You want a plane? You want a yacht?
Oh, PJ's coming next year. Insurance elevated private jets coming next year. I hate flying, through regular airports. Like, I got a taste of the PJ life once by my mentor. He flew me out. We went to 3 different cities and spoke at 3 different conferences in one day. I said, this is how I can give at a faster rate. So a PJ to me is totally worth the expense. He's already showed me how to charter it while you're not using it.
Great tax benefits too.
Great tax benefits. That's coming next year, guaranteed 12 to 16 months. Mark my words, I will have an insurance elevated PJ. It will have a QR code on it where people can, reach out to us at any point in time. But that's coming. Definitely a PJ. I do want 2 kids. I definitely want to be a dad. I told you in my bio, when I was 20 years old, I had a kid with a girl. I found out when he was 13 months old, he wasn't mine. Still hits me till this day, never went away. I'll always, have that missing piece. I want to be a father. That is my ultimate goal in life, aside from all the money, all the bullshit. I want to be a dad. I want to take my kids to soccer practice, let them figure out what sports are going to be vital to their growth and to their success growing up, that they get to choose. I don't want to be the dad that just puts them in soccer because soccer is my favorite sport. I want to be the dad that allows them to, mess around with all the sports at such a young age, and then gear them towards one that we see that they have the most fun at, because that's where I messed up. I was good at everything. I didn't get great at any sport because I just got good at all of them because I just wanted to try everything.
Right. It's kind of reminds me of my childhood too. That's beautiful, man.
I want marriage. I want 2 kids. I want all of it, man. I want all of it. I've been through my hoe phase when I was younger. Sorry, I don't know if I can say this on here.
Say hoe phase.
26 through 28 years old. Trust me, been there, done that, seen it all, met every different type of personality, and I know what I want. So definitely want to be a father. I want to be a husband. I want the guest house or I'm sorry, the vacation home in Italy or Greece or wherever I end up wanting, wherever my favorite destination place is.
Oh, yeah.
I want to help 10,000 people make over $150,000 a year in the next 2 years. That's a huge goal of mine. And I say 150 because 150 is the new 100 from 3 years ago because of inflation and everything of that nature. Multiple six figures is really where people need to be at, 200,000 and up. If you're not making $200,000 a year or more and you're watching this podcast, you genuinely need to reach out to me.
Please do.
and then we can get you with Jay and get some PR going and show you how to really build that massive credibility to make way more than $200,000 a year.
How does somebody reach out to you?
So you reach out to us through Instagram is our number one. I have people that run my entire Instagram, the @insurance.elevated. My personal Instagram, DM me. You will talk to me. Oh, yeah. I will personally send you my Calendly. Now, you might not get me on the phone at first because, like I said, I'm from the Show Me State. Like, that's cool. You're interested in the position. I have a lot going on. Like, I can't talk to everybody that reaches out to me. 50 to 70 people a week right now on average DM me for this opportunity. So then I get you on the phone with one of my recruiting directors who run teams who actually know more about the business than I do. So really, you don't want to talk to me. I have to make 3 to 4 decisions a day to move the company forward, focus on branding, marketing. You're not there yet. You need to come in and learn the sales aspect of it, the day-to-day sales process, which my agency owners and team leaders are going to know way more than I do because I've been out of that bubble. I'm now working on the business, not in the business. And a lot of people don't understand that right now. And I'm in a rock and a hard place where some people feel offended by that because they know the old me. Like, hey, man, I want to talk to you. And I'm like, absolutely, man. I'll get you on the phone with my team leaders. They'll go over the full opportunity. He's like, no, but bro, I want to talk to you. Like, why would you? I was like, brother, I'm in a completely different situation. Now, like, no offense.
Good growth pains to have when you're the face
I don't
of
know.
a company.
And at that point, it's like, do I be nice? What do I do? Do I just like, dude, I make $2,700 an hour. Do you want to pay that to take an hour of my time? Now, if you get licensed and you come on board, you start showing me your capabilities and your skill set and your mindset and you're a proactive thinker other than reactive and you're doing everything in your power to prove yourself. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah. Let
me guide you now. Let's lock arms. But until then, you're just asking about an opportunity.
So it's a huge opportunity right now coming on board with you at this point with the way that you're growing.
Yeah,
somebody does come in and they crush it with you. They get to learn and work directly with you.
Oh, 100%.
A year from now, that might not be the case.
I still will I don't care how big I get, how much money I make. I'm still going to want to do a sales training once a week or once every 2 weeks or once every 3 weeks. I'm still going to want to walk in and just sit down by some agents and listen to them on the phone and see what we can work on, what they did well. Now it's becoming a problem where they get so nervous around me. They make more. I'm like, shit. So, and then my team, my guys were like, Eric, can you not do that? I'm like, damn, I like doing this. That's how I got good. I had a guy breathing down my neck half the time. I say breathing down my neck, but he was just there to help me. And he would tell me what I did well, but he would also tell me what I could do better at. And he did that for 2.5 months straight with cold calling and tonality. And I became so militant with a script, became so good on the phone that I know that's how it works. And then, but some people, they just don't learn like that. And I had to realize that, some people learn.
Don't ever let someone tell you not to do it your way. It sounds like your way is crushing it.
It crushed it.
Seeing your growth. We're taking a ride on your PJ next year.
Oh, absolutely, Jay. I'm hoping both of us have one and we could just take turns, man.
I will say the last frontier, the thing that pisses me off more than anything nowadays is fucking commercial airports.
Commercial airports, man, because you got to think about it. Like, I have a Miami office. Sometimes I just drive down there because it's a 4-hour drive because if I go to the airport, my flight's at 2, I got to get there at 12:30. Then I got to board the plane. So I'm an hour and a half getting there. Then I got to board the plane. It takes 45 minutes to board the plane. Then it takes 45 minutes to fly down there. Then it takes 30 minutes to get off the plane because everybody takes a stupid amount of time to pull their shit out of the carry-on holders. I don't know why. It's weird. Then you get off the plane. Then you got to go through, you got to go out. You got to get an Uber. Then you got to go to the office. So by the time you add all that up, I'm like, man, I could have made some really important phone calls and just been in my car in the AC, not dealt with anybody. So
I don't need a 747. You get me to New York and Miami in a couple hours, I'm good. But yes, there will be an Otter PJ in the future.
I like that, Otter PR PJ. There you go. I appreciate you having me on, man. It's been fun. I hope people watching understand that I'm just me. I'm gonna say what I feel, and I feel what I say. And I hope that one person can just take and be like, that resonated with me. As long as I get that, I'm happy. Everybody else can go to hell if they don't like it.
Thank you for bringing the energy today. When I first met you, you were high energy, so I was excited to have you on the show, see what you were all about. I'm glad we got to finally connect. Thank you.
Absolutely, Jay. Thank you.
All right, Mentors Collective. Go watch some other episodes. Go check out Eric Bosworth and Elevated Insurance. If you want to buy insurance, I'm sure you're a good place to go. But if you want to sell insurance and make $150,000, go find this
minimum. That's minimum. We got agents crushing that, and we'll show you. Proof is in the numbers, man. And we're not scared to show you guys. We're not scared to train you, and we're not scared to outwork you. And I think that's important. I think that if you have a leader that is willing to outwork you day in and day out, where you have to put your selling boots on and your work ethic boots on to keep up, that's what's important. But the days are over in the insurance industry with these uplines that are sitting at their house making hundreds of thousands of dollars off of people that are putting in 90 hours a week. We're all in this together.
I love it, brother. Thank you.